The last step is to post those. This is going to involve T accounts. T accounts represent the ledger, and this is not something that you have to set up, but you can do this on a piece of scratch paper just to make sure that you have it right. So I'm just going to do a copy paste of all of those into T accounts that will already be created for you. We'll create them as we go into this space. So I have my first transaction, cash for $4,000 and owner's capital for $4,000. So I'm going to make my own cash T account. I'm going to copy this $4,000 onto the debit side, and then I need an owner's capital T account. I'm going to credit $4,000. There might be a date being asked for it. It'd be off on the side, like over here and over here. Sometimes that's asked for, sometimes that's not. Now my second transaction is going to be supplies and cash. I'm going to go ahead and leave this cash account here. We're going to put some more transactions in there, and I'm going to make a T account for supplies. My supplies is being debited for $600, and my cash is being credited for $600. My next transaction is cash and service revenue. So cash for $2,200, that's going to be a debit. Once again, commas are optional. Service revenue, let's create one of those, and that's credited for $2,200. And then lastly, salaries and wages expense and cash. So salaries and wages expense, let's see, I'll just squeeze that in right here. My salaries and wages expense is debited for $800. Cash is credited for $800. That's posting. We've just posted to the ledger. Now in a real ledger, we would have a column to take care of all the balances. I'm going to use my T account to balance it out. The cash account is the only one that really has a whole lot going on. So I'm going to punch in my calculator 4,000 plus 2,200 minus 600 minus 800 and write the balance. The balance is 4,800. My balance for salaries and wages expense is 800, for owner's capital is 4,000, for supplies is 600, and service revenue is 2,200. I need those balances for the fourth step in the accounting cycle. That fourth step is to create a trial balance. My trial balance will also be set up for me, but I'll tell you that the format is going to be an account column that will not have a label on it, and a debit and credit column that will have a label. The order of the accounts will be in general ledger order. First, the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity accounts, then your revenues and expense accounts. So let's look up at all these ones we have here. You're going to be given some data. You need to put it in the right order. So the first one is going to be our cash account, and I'm just going to copy the balance of 4,800 and put that right here. The next one on my list, I'm going to look to see if I have any other assets. I do. I've got a supplies right there. Balance in supplies is 600. Commas are optional. So we've got this one right here. We've got this one right here. Let's see, we've got these three left. Let's do owner's capital next. The balance is 4,000 in the credit column. So we've got that one. We've got two left. Revenues and expenses is the order. Service revenue is going to be next. And then the amount is 2,200. And lastly is our salaries and wages expense. And the amount is 800 on the debit side. And now for the fun part, we're going to balance this out. This will not be labeled, but I'm doing that for your benefit. Get your calculator out, add up all the debits and total them and total all the credits. And you're going to add these up. You're going to get 6,200. Add these up. You're going to get 6,200. And yay, we balance. And that's why we call it the trial balance. So this is a lot of accounting. The first four steps in your accounting cycle: analyze, then journalize, then post. Those three are called the recording process. Then we make a trial balance. Why? To ensure that debits equal credits. All right, so if you did it all right, your trial balance is going to balance. Now, if your trial balance does not balance, that means you goofed up somewhere. You need to back up a step and see where you missed something. However, if the trial balance is in balance, it doesn't mean it's all right, because maybe I was supposed to debit equipment and not supplies, and I read it wrong. And that means both equipment and supplies are going to be wrong. All right, so I hope that helps you guys figure out the first four steps of the accounting process. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.